Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about some more positive news that was recently released for Tesla. So as always, you all know I'm a big fan of Tesla stock. I have a lot of it in my portfolio at around 45-46% right now. And it hasn't been a great day for Tesla, even though it seems like we always get some more forward-looking news, more positive news, it seems like, than negative. However, keep in mind, a lot of the times, regardless of what news releases, most times the stock market is just going to do what it's going to do. Sometimes you can have amazing news released on Tesla or another company, but the stock market still declines for that stock for the day. And that's just how the stock market goes, because regardless of the news, people are going to do what they want to do. And I've said this in other videos, but when it comes to the stock market, it's a lot about human psychology. So as with today, it was a pretty solid drop for Tesla. As you can see, minus 2.45% just for the normal market hours alone. So I'm assuming with this drop today, a lot of people, of course, got tired of the volatility. And I'm almost certain, keep in mind this is just a guess, but I'm almost certain as it was starting to get into this low point at like 225 where it was near minus 5% for Tesla today, there were some people that panic sold simply because they just couldn't handle it dropping that much. There's always going to be people in the market that panic sell when it starts to dip significantly like this. And we did see a rebound towards the end of the day, towards the end of normal market hours, where we actually recovered a lot of this loss right here. And that was simply because there's a lot of investors that take advantage of these situations where it hits a significant low point. Because in the long term, if you're looking at the long-term perspective for Tesla, it's looking really good. Tesla is ahead in market share. They're ahead in full self-driving technology, battery technology, software. The sales are great for Tesla right now. You have the Model 3 being the highest sold vehicle in California, the Model 3 being extremely popular in the UK, the Model 3 being one of the highest quality vehicles in China with the Gigafactory in Shanghai. Now, we have to admit there is a little bit of contrast between Model 3 quality between the Shanghai Gigafactory and in the United States. Yes, there are some quality issues in the United States, but I think as time goes on, they'll learn to be more efficient and also develop higher quality products. That's just going to take some time. But I'm basically emphasizing here that in the long term, it's looking great for Tesla. But in the short term, you have some investors that are just not willing to be patient enough to hold the stock for that long. And that's where investors with a long-term perspective excel. So I kind of want to point that out. When you have a dip like today, there are most certainly going to be some people panic selling on this way down. Some people were likely going to sell regardless, but a lot of this is simply because of people panic selling on the way down. And then the smart investors picked it up at this dip right here. If I had a little bit of cash on the sidelines, I would have likely bought today as well around this price tag, somewhere in here. I can't say obviously that I would have bought at the exact bottom. I might have bought a little bit farther down in here or waited until tomorrow. But a lot of the smart investors did buy at this dip point right here, and that's why we saw this rebound. So at least it seems at this point that it has not gone under $1,400 for at least a while now. Maybe that's the sweet spot number, but if we look at the past month for Tesla, it just has this general baseline trend around this $1,500, $1,400 number. If you go straight across, it goes across this trend right here. And we might bounce back up to this marker as we go on up here, or it could go down a little bit more. I don't really know about the short term, but the long term for Tesla looks fantastic in my opinion. So with this, I'm going to be discussing more news on Tesla as a company, and that relates to Tesla stock as well. And I just wanted to run by with the share price for today. As I said earlier, share price is currently at $1,453.49. That's a minus 2.45% loss for today. And at least in the after hours, it is looking a little bit positive for Tesla. So hopefully Monday could be a better day. Honestly, I feel like Monday could be pretty bullish just because Mondays are always like a fresh reset for the stock market. And of course, a lot of people just get excited because there's still 4 more days after Monday, 4 more movements to happen in the stock market. So anyways, let's go ahead and check out this news. And as always, if you appreciate the Tesla content, then please make sure to smash that like button. It definitely helps me out, and it just takes a few seconds. I'd appreciate you doing a good deed for today. So with today's news piece, we have an article by Electric. Once again, thank you to Electric and author Fred Lambert for this information. I'm always interested to see with what's going on with Tesla. And so as this article states, it says, Tesla launches Model 3/Model Y leases in Canada, expands the market. So there's been some expansions on job positions recently in Singapore, Australia, and then other locations in Arizona. And so we have seen a lot of signs of expansion recently, in addition to them also offering a wrap service in many cities in China. So we are seeing not only expansion in terms of large scales, such as building gigafactories across the world, but we're seeing expansions in smaller scales as well, which I think is just as important, because you can do everything correct with large scaling a business, but you also have to be really efficient with the small scale as well, because if you can't get the small scale expansion down, then the large scale doesn't even matter, because the small scale is implemented into every single bit of that large scale aspect. So anyways, let's check out the rest of this article and see what it talks about more in depth. As it states right here, Tesla has launched new lease options for the Model 3 and Model Y in Canada, as it also expands in the market with new retail presence. As we reported earlier, Tesla is working on a massive sales presence expansion with new markets. So this goes along with what I was mentioning earlier, like new sales positions in Arizona. I think it mentioned Quebec as well. So it then states new stores are coming in Ottawa, the Canadian capital, and the second largest population center in Ontario, and Laval, a large city adjacent to Montreal. And then it also states now Tesla is also expanding options to drive its vehicles in Canada by launching leases for the Model 3 and Model Y. Previously, the automaker was only offering leases on the Model S and Model X. Tesla launched Model 3 leases in the US in April of last year, but delayed the option in Canada, where the Model 3 enjoyed significant purchase incentives, $5,000 at the federal level, and up to $8,000 at the provincial level. In the US, Tesla has started offering leases on the Model Y last month. Now Canadian customers can choose to lease on both Tesla vehicles. So right here, it basically shows what it would look like if you're in Canada, if you would like to lease one of these vehicles. So as you can see right here, you have the cash, loan, or the lease option. So that has now been added for those in Canada that are interested in leasing these vehicles. So for example, here's a few costs. It says estimated lease payment, $724 per month, and lease after estimated savings, $630 per month. So yes, it's pretty expensive, and then you have the due today price as well, $2,500. So yes, a lease is quite expensive, but I want to explain why this is so important. Now, with leases, it's not really a long-term market. It's more of a short-term thing. A lot of people lease vehicles when they're going on vacation, or another great reason why a customer may lease a vehicle would be to test it out for a more extended amount of time compared to simply just test driving a Tesla once. So like I've said, they've launched new lease options for the Model 3 and the Model Y, and this is important because, as we know, this is actually a consistent thing. Yes, you can say it's an anecdote and things like that, but I really do think this is relevant, and like this is an actual thing. I feel like people that are interested in Teslas, once they actually get in to drive it, I've just heard so many anecdotes in the past of people that once they test drove a Tesla, they knew they needed it instantly, that they wanted it right then and there and had to get it. So it's kind of like there's something called a Tesla effect, where when people actually test drive out the vehicle, they realize how much better it is, or how much they think it's better than the typical ICE vehicles that we have, where you don't have the crazy 0 to 60 and you have the loud engine and just the typical noise that you hear in the background. And you also have a clutter of various different buttons all over the place in comparison to Tesla, which has some crazy 0 to 60 times on some of their models. You have one screen that mainly controls everything. You also have the really nice autopilot feature. There's so many forms of different access to entertainment in Tesla, whether it's games, movies, music, and just additional Easter eggs as well that they put in just for fun. And yes, the Easter eggs may be small, but it's just the simple fact that the developers thought it would be cool to put something in there like that. It's just like the cherry on top. So there is that Tesla effect when people try to test drive a vehicle, or just simply lease it as well. And that's where I see the opportunity with this leasing in Canada. I think this could actually expedite the transition from ICE vehicles to EVs much faster. And as we know, the Model 3 is such a huge seller for Tesla. It's arguably the best vehicle that exists under Tesla, not only because of its affordability, but you also have some solid range per charge. And in addition to that, you had the Model Y, which is their newest vehicle. That's supposed to be a huge seller for Tesla, and it's just a matter at this point if they can keep up with demand. So the Model Y is expected to be a big seller similar to the Model 3. And so with these being some of the most popular Tesla vehicles to exist right now, I love the fact that they are allowing leasing in Canada, because in my opinion, once people lease a vehicle, whether their initial intention is just for a vacation, or if they just want to try out a Tesla vehicle a little bit longer term than just simply test driving it, then I think it's likely once they try that vehicle out, they'll love it and decide that they either want to purchase it in the short term very soon, or that they will save up their money to buy one because they love it so much. Now, there's obviously going to be some people that may not like a Tesla even after they lease it, but I think the likelihood is that the majority will enjoy it, and a lot of people out of that group will decide that they actually want to own one for themselves. And as we know, it's cheaper to outright own a Tesla vehicle than to just lease it long term. So people can lease it for the short term and then decide that they actually want to buy it for the long term just because it's more cost efficient and things like that. So I see a lot of opportunity here for actually propelling Tesla sales even more in Canada. As this EV transition happens more across the world, Tesla is actually starting to expand more, like I said, with sales locations and new job listings and things like that. But I also think access to leases is crucial because it is a big driver for sales, in my opinion. So I'm actually really excited to hear about this news. To some, it may not seem like a big deal. Some people may just look at this as, oh, they're just adding leasing. Okay, cool, no big deal. But when you really think about the effect that leases could have on sales and propel sales even more, especially in Canada, then I think that's huge. More access to these cars is a good thing, in my opinion. So if they want Tesla to have a large market share in Canada, this is a great way to do so. So I absolutely love seeing this. I've mentioned before that business expansion is huge. You want to scale your business as much as possible, and it seems that they are doing so right now, whether it's vertical integration with adding wrap services in China, or adding more job listings to other countries, or whether it's building more gigafactories. I think that this is huge. So I just wanted to share this article with you all. And as always, if you do appreciate the Tesla content, then please make sure to smash that like button. It really does help me out. And like I said, it just takes a few seconds, but it makes my day. And also, if you would like to begin investing, feel free to check out my referral link in the description below. If you sign up with my link, then you'll get some free stocks. And especially with Webull right now, you can get up to 60 free stocks depending on how much you deposit, or you can just get 2 free stocks by signing up with my referral link and then adding $100 to your account. But I just want to let you all know about that. But I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.